I don't know if anybody's there, but I'm Tammy Tide Page, and I guess we'll wait for a couple of people to get into the room. Well, first, I call the meeting so some people can hear about my design pattern that, um, that I did with Inventec, 2012, 2013. I have some paperwork y'all want to look at. I can send it to you. Some of it I'm going to share here, but since we only have 30 minutes, I want to do the best that I can in voicing what it's about. The first thing is I'm gonna need some lawyers. The reason why I want to pass this on because there are a lot of people or brands that are now using my design pattern in their hats and they're making good money. I've tried over and over. I sent several desist and deceased letters, some on my own, some with the lawyer, to try to get some of these people to stop and get a lawyer to help me fight my case, but I can't afford it. And since the pandemic, I'm like homeless, so it's nothing really I can do. So I want to kind of sell, not really sell it, but maybe portion it off. Well, 60-40, with 60 in your favor, because I still want to retain some of it because it'll be the only wealth my family ever had. And I'm like the first business owner that my family's ever had in life. And I just want to do something for my family, but I can't really do anything right now since the pandemic because during that time, I helped my family with to pay their bills, my mom and my dad, um, a couple of my sister and my brother. I helped my two kids, and I basically went through my savings. I paid my employees so they can kind of stay on their feet for at least 3 months. And then after that, I was couch surfing from 2020 until now, like now, right now. I just got off my kinfolk them couch now, just to come to the meeting and get everything together. So that's it, and we'll wait for more people to come in. And I'm a publicist in the entertainment industry. That's what I was prior to 2020. Thriving career, loved it, enjoyed traveling, doing all that kind of stuff. And it just when the pandemic hit, I didn't think there was no alternative to the way publicists did things. But when music artists were no longer to travel, well, we couldn't make money. When the film industry was shut down and wasn't really doing anything, some people wanted to get the vaccine, some didn't. So therefore, that if your client didn't want to do it, you couldn't make money. Who would have ever thought, right? But that's a little bit about me. Maybe some other people will come in and then we'll see what's going on. Maybe some people have some ideas for me. Maybe some people would like to steer me in a direction to kind of help me out. I would appreciate, any type of feedback or anybody who wants to help. I know I invited Balenciaga and the black guys that own banks. I love it because growing up, we never had that. And those are the only two teams I've actually come on here. So I hope some of Balenciaga people come, and I hope they come. The other guys come because I'm just any kind of help will help. You know. Okay, I'll wait a few minutes. And y'all gonna hear a lot of birds chirping because my friend, she raises birds. Well, not my friend, my kinfolk. They raise birds and they, what do you call them, mate them or whatever. I don't know what it's called. So she has cages full of birds, and plus her kids love these birds. So the birds really help him out. I don't too much like birds in the house with me because once their cages start stinking, uh, and I like birds outside, but not living in the house with me. But I don't have any say so. That's why you're gonna hear some birds. There's nothing I can do about it. Mm. So I do live here with her and her two kids. She got a divorce in 2020. He was in the Navy. But when they came back from California, I think they was at some Navy base in California. This is where she came from California. Then she moved here to where I'm at now, living with her. So basically, I just watch her two kids for free because she really don't have the money to pay me. And every now and again, I might get $20, $30 to pay on my phone bill or something like that. But I can't really complain because at least I got somewhere to lay my head instead of in my truck. Oh, okay. I was hoping some more people would show up besides me, but let me see here. So I'm just gonna record this and just send it to you people. Um, Yeah, I invited Balenciaga and some of its affiliates to discuss my apparel, hat, hoodies, design patent for its brand use and buyout. I invited Brian E. Agret. Well, these two guys are not from Balenciaga. They're like chief executive officer banks and stuff like that. Brian E. Agret, Saba. I know I'm butchering this name. Saba Bankai, Wayne Kent Bradshaw, Cedric Shabit. I apologize for butchering your names. Dimna, I'm not even try with that last name. Gvasalia. Martina, the last name Tiefenthaler. And Levine Pont. So if any of you have their contact information, just send them a Zoom recording since nobody came to my Zoom meeting. Tried to be proactive, but I'm not giving up. 1,000 no's means I could get one yes. Like I put in my email, I am a Black business owner, but since the pandemic, the entertainment industry is not moving like it used to before the pandemic. So I haven't been able to revive my design patent or my business. My issue is the use of my design patent without my consent or compensation by many brands that I see on social media. I do not have the reach or resources to file a lawsuit on my behalf for my design patent, so I'm willing to hear any advice or buy-out terms. And so also, like I've stated, I've sent out many cease and desist letters, but since I don't have the money or the people to reach out to that can make things happen for good lawyers to help me out, it's part of the reason why I'm doing a buyout of my brand. The other thing is a couple of people I have reached out over the years from 2013 until about maybe 2018, 2019. Balenciaga, I just started reaching out to you guys since 2022. One of the people I've reached out to was Arthur McPhee. He was a lawyer of the NFL Association. I reached out to Warren Buffett, Sean Combs, P. Diddy over Bad Boys, Sean Carter, which is Jay-Z. I reached out to Nike, Nike UK and Nike Africa. I reached out to them. Adidas, I reached out to them. I think Adidas was in the UK, Europe. I'm not really sure which Adidas people I reached out to. LeVar Ball, I reached out to him for his Big Baller brand, hoping maybe he can take over it. He's the former NFL player. I reached out to Kim Berry with Netflix for a brand deal. I reached out to Patience, who is Cardi B's former publicist, because us publicists kind of know each other in that circle. But I guess because of her and Cardi B's fallout, she didn't respond back or anything. It could be because her and Cardi B kind of fell out and went their separate ways. She didn't want to have nothing to do with it. Mickey Arison, the owner of the Miami Heat, and I reached out to Nick Arison, his son. I even went to be proactive, even went to his building in Sunny Isle where he lived at. Oh, well, that was one of his mailing addresses. After mailing him my information, and I didn't hear back from him for months, so I just went there. Never was able to go up and talk to anybody. And they're just some of the apparel design patent investors that I wanted to be a part of my design or to take over or buy out or 60/40 brand deal. And so that was that. And let me see if I can share my screen to put up some of these. Oh, this one. Okay, let me see what I can share my screen at. Share screen. Okay. Kind of need you to go over. So let me see. Go over. Hmm. Okay. In my IRS stuff for Stud Style Productions, um, the stuff I sent into the IRS, my embed help basic information packet. It's kind of what I had to send to Inventec. I mean to the IRS about my patent. Um, and this is what the hat would look on the inside. This is one of the hats. I had a lot. Well, I had three of them that I had hand sewed myself in 2013. And then I started going, live on Twitter saying, this is my design pattern. I'm looking for people to um, be a part of my brand. And, I showed them the hat that I sewed myself inside of a ball hat and inside of a fedora because I love wearing fedoras and inside of just a regular hat. And I think about maybe 4 or 5 months later, because I was talking about, you can, underneath the silk, you can put like maybe a headphone set or radios or something like Bluetooth, and you can do all different types of stuff that you can hide underneath the silk of the lining underneath the hat. And about 5 months later, I had a knock at my door from the FBI and talking about what am I doing, and they just confiscated a lot of stuff, a lot of original stuff that I had, and I couldn't do anything or go to prison. I never did talk about it. This is my first time talking about it. I did mention it to a friend of mine, and she said, "Well, maybe they thought you were doing espionage." I was like, "What the fuck is espionage?" I don't know, but that's what happened to all my original designs. They were confiscated. So I stopped doing anything on social media as far as that was concerned until about maybe 2016 or 15 when I retired from Hewlett Packard. I was in Florida. Hewlett Packard bought out Compaq because I used to work at Compaq. Then Compaq was bought out by Hewlett Packard. I retired from Hewlett Packard. And so after I retired, then I said, well, you know what? I'm gonna start pursuing my design pattern again. And that's what I did. And I started working on it. So reaching out to different people again. As you can see here, it says apply this patent in 2012. Apply for this patent in 2012. Design patent for satin line, hats, caps, hoodies, etc. Stud style, film style brand. You may change the name of the brand naming rights for majority stake fair split. Anyway, that's my phone number and stuff. Um, there was something I wanted to say. I first started making these hats and stuff because me and a friend we were talking about. I think it was in 2011. She didn't like wearing hats. I like wearing hats, but I didn't wear hats because they would always make my head so sweaty. And I said, I wish there was some way, when you tie your hair up, you can put like that inside your hat, but you don't have to have your hair tied up. Because as Black women, we tie our hair up with silk scarves and stuff like that. And so I was like, she's like, well, we should be able to try to put that up in the head. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna take one of my silk scarves and sew it into a hat. She laughed. I kind of laughed. Okay, no big deal. But then when I really got to thinking about it, I said, I'm supposed to go for this full throttle. I don't care. And so I did. And then I noticed one time that Carl Warhol, it's a blog, and let me see when was this. I think it was back in 2012 or 2013, between 2013 and 2015. Had talked about this in tech news. The rumor is Mark Zuckerberg and Larry Page are going to partner with Ubisoft and Oculus Rift. Oh yeah, this is when Oculus first was coming out, and I was like, they can really sell a lot of these Oculus things if they was to line it with the silk thing, because black people hate putting things on their heads gonna make their head sweaty because the texture of our hair, our natural hair. And then from what I'm hearing, the ACC design will hide all the black cabling, and I guess this is where the FBI came in. They seen this here black cabling, and will fit behind the lining, and we'll have internet access to stream music and watch porn. I guess that's what he got people to look at it. I don't know. I was like, watch porn. But what people are doing now, okay. Um, Shout out to OnlyFans. The HCD designer just hit the jackpot with this patent. I can just put on the head, watch porn, and listen to music. Hell, sign me up. Then they hit out TechCrunch, Google, Facebook, um, Gadget Girl, Kylie, and Music Tech. And this is like one of the first articles I seen about my design patent. So I just pulled the article and I put these, see how she got this in her hoodie or a jacket. Here's another one. This is what I want to do. And you can see the lining inside these hats and the lining all inside these hats. And this is Inventec did this one down here at the bottom. See the line inside the hat, the fedora. And if there was a lining inside of this, a lot of black people will wear it mostly. And all these have linings in them. Now, they don't have an Oculus made like this now. I think just like one of the very first Oculus. That's what it looked like. And here's my information, my statement of confidentiality and non-use. I had to wait a certain amount of time before I can present my idea to the public. So I went in and signed all this paperwork. That's the address I used to live at when I started my brand. And as you can see here, I named it Still South Fem Style the brand. And it was in 2012. It's one of the videos, which is the line all ball caps, cowboy hats, church hats, favorite team hats, everyday hats. And here's another one of the things that they sent me, client service department, stylish line of hats. This is another of the marketing summaries that they sent me. And let me see, go to this one. Oh, and this is the IRS one that I was telling you about. And let me see what else. What time is it? Only got a few more minutes. Okay, the first time I did these hats were at Texas Children's Hospital in Houston, Texas. My nephew he was dying from cancer, and he had already lost all his hair, and he was going through leukemia. And he was talking about how he would want to wear a hat, but his hat was itching. His head was itching. And I was like, well, I do have a design pattern I'm working on. Why don't you try it out and let me know? So sewed up a bunch of hat linings and hats in different type of hats. Took it to the hospital, Texas Children, and he tried it on, and he's like, "Oh, this feels so much better. My head don't feel itchy." He was going through leukemia, so he didn't have hair. Some of his other friends that were patients. He was 14 when he died, 13, 14 when he died from leukemia. And so I made some extra hats, and I had them try it on. They loved it. I just gave it to them. I said, "Look, this is not a production design or nothing. I just went home, sewed this in here just so I can get your feedback." And so that's the part I mean by also tested for comfort. That I tested for comfort on my nephew, who was an inspiration for the redesign, who succumbed to leukemia. As he was losing his hair and going through chemo, he hated wearing hats because the inside of hats was very itchy. We came up with this redesign, and up until his death, the design made his head feel very comfortable and his scalp didn't sweat. So he, excuse me, so he loved it. My apparel design or redesign patent that I have already licensed, I am ready to license and sell 60/40, 70/30 split with me having a lower end to the right buyer, including naming rights and patent attorney. Also, you will need a patent attorney specialized in fashion or design. So he can go through these different companies, and most of them I got written down, but you can just Google them and you can see who does what. So I just want to let everybody know that thank you for coming or not coming to my Zoom meeting, but I will send it back out. And I really appreciate everybody. And I'm just looking for somebody to help me out. I'm homeless. I'm sleeping on my family's couch surfing. I've been doing this for the last 3, 4 years. Well, since 2020 till now. And I just really want somebody to help me, buy me out, do do something. I'm a black business owner, and a lot of money don't come to us. So I'm turning to the community and the community at large. I'm asking for some help. Thank y'all. I appreciate you not coming or coming here to my Zoom meeting.